I don't know where I'm going anymore. You whisper it quietly. Or maybe you scream it in silence. Maybe you've said it so many times it has become your identity. But pause. Breathe. There's something sacred here. Not in the clarity you crave, but in the very fog you fear. You are not broken. You are not off track. You are in the space between the question and the answer. And that space, however painful, is holy. Look around, not with your eyes, with your awareness. Can you feel it? That soft mist curling around your life, the stillness that refuses to let you rush forward. This is not failure. This is divine interruption. The universe does not shout when it speaks. It whispers. It pauses your plans to restore your alignment. It clouds the map so you'll learn to walk by faith, not sight. You think you're lost, but your soul knows better. You are being summoned inward. The fog is not your enemy. It is your soul asking you to remember. Remember what? That you were never meant to figure it all out. You were meant to follow light that doesn't always announce itself. There is a divine orchestra behind every delay, a silent gate of destiny that only opens when your vibration aligns. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "The game of life is a game of boomerangs. Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us sooner or later." So if your world feels uncertain now, it may not be punishment, but reflection, a mirror of inner dialogue, an echo of neglected faith. This is not the end. This is the womb of something holy. The law of substitution tells us you cannot dwell on two states at once. You cannot be both afraid and faithful. You cannot speak doubt and expect divine answers. So we shift. We replace. Say this out loud, even if your voice trembles. Though I walk in fog, I am not lost. My path is revealed moment by moment by divine intelligence. Again, slowly, with power. Though I walk in fog, I am not lost. My path is revealed moment by divine intelligence. Let it imprint, let it breathe life into the spaces you thought were empty. The truth is this: your confusion is not the absence of direction. It is the call to deeper obedience, to surrender what you think should happen so you may receive what must. The soul's compass doesn't speak in logic. It speaks in knowing, in whispers, in sacred discomfort. And if you're willing, truly willing to stop resisting the fog, you'll hear it. The whisper beneath your panic, the invitation beneath your frustration, the divine intelligence that has never left you. You are still being led. You are still worthy of clarity, and it is coming. Close your eyes, visualize yourself standing in a mist-covered field. You can't see the road ahead, but feel the earth beneath your feet. It is solid, alive, present. You are being held down. See a single beam of golden light descend in front of you. It doesn't show the whole path, just one next step. Take it. That's all you've ever needed to do. One faithful step at a time. Let this be your turning point. Let this be the moment you stop fighting the fog and begin to walk as if light is already rising. Because it is. You don't need the whole plan. You just need the presence of peace. Repeat after me. I trust where I am, even if I cannot see where I'm going. I walk with the rhythm of divine timing, not the panic of the world. I remember who I am, and I remember I am never alone. Let that remembrance be your new compass, because this fog, this stillness, this strange divine silence, it is not abandonment. It is the soft unfolding of something eternal within you. And as we move forward, you will see what the fog was hiding. Not the end, but your beginning. You may whisper in quiet defeat, I must have missed the way, as if the road to destiny were a tightrope, as if a single wrong step could exile you from your divine design. But divine mind does not lose the blueprint. You were never cast out of purpose. You were never abandoned by the light within. Close your eyes, breathe into the place that panics when things go still, and hear this like prophecy. You are still on the path, even when you cannot see the trail beneath your feet. Even when the fog thickens, even when the detour feels like failure, you are being led by a law older than time, by a wisdom deeper than logic, by a hand that holds your soul's map with perfect trust. This is the law of divine guidance. It is not loud, it does not bargain, it does not need evidence. It is the sacred current moving beneath your confusion, the pull of your soul back to remembrance. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, there is a place that you are to fill and no one else can fill, something you are to do which no one else can do. That calling is etched into the walls of your spirit, and divine mind never forgets it. Imagine this, a compass buried beneath the earth, covered in dust, in doubt, in delay. Yet the moment it is uncovered, it still points true. It did not forget where north is, it did not forget its purpose. It was waiting for your hands to uncover it again. So, ask yourself gently, when did I stop trusting that I'm being led? Because confusion is not the absence of truth, it is often the presence of resistance. Resistance to letting go. Resistance to surrendering logic. Resistance to believing that divine timing could still work through delay. Let the mind rest for a moment. Let the heart speak. The soul does not measure life in speed. The soul moves in seasons, and this may be your winter of remembering. Your path is not a line, it is a spiral. It loops through lessons. It returns to truths. It evolves with you. You cannot be off path when the path is made of you. Declare this with reverence. I am never off my path. I am always on divine time. Repeat it when you feel forgotten. Repeat it when you feel behind. Repeat it until the nervous mind begins to settle and the inner compass hums again. Let your journal become an altar, a place to return to trust. Write these questions into the sacred page. When did I stop trusting I was being led? What detour did I label as failure? Where do I feel late, and who told me that I should be further? Let the answers rise from intuition, not intellect, because divine guidance does not sound like a lecture. It sounds like a whisper. It sounds like peace. It sounds like the pull to rest when the world says, rush. It sounds like joy for no reason. It sounds like a strange yes that makes no sense on paper. That is the law at work. Not a law written in books, but a law inscribed in spirit. You are being moved. Even in stillness, you are being adjusted. Even in the waiting, you are not lost. You are being realigned. So sit quietly, hand on heart, and say to your own soul, I do not need to know every turn. I trust the light that sees beyond this moment. I choose to walk with the rhythm of the divine. I surrender my timeline. I accept divine time. Let those words open the silent gate of destiny again, and as you speak them, feel this truth settle into your being. You were never lost, you only stopped listening. But the law of divine guidance never stopped speaking. And now, it speaks again, through this very moment, through the silence, through this sacred return. Let it lead you into the next breath and beyond it, into the place where you remember, you have always been held. There is a moment when the seed believes it has been buried, swallowed by silence, forgotten beneath the weight of soil. It cannot see the sun, it cannot hear the wind, it believes it has been cast aside. But heaven whispers back, you are not buried, you are planted, and this darkness is not your end. It is your sacred becoming, that feeling you carry, that you are late, that you've fallen behind some invisible race, that others are ahead and you are left behind, is not truth. It is programming. It is fear dressed in logic. It is comparison, trying to steal your sacred pace. Let it be undone now. Divine timing is not human time. It is not scheduled by clocks or calendars. It moves with the rhythm of your soul, not the urgency of your ego. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the divine pattern of your life unfolds perfectly when you cease resisting it. She said, what you do not see is already accomplished in the divine mind. You do not need to rush. You need to remember. You do not need to compare. You need to reconnect. You are not late. You are being repositioned, moved by invisible grace, placed by sacred hands into alignment with what you asked for in a higher way than your mind could ever design. This is not delay. This is divine choreography. So breathe now. Let the breath drop deep and enter a moment of divine stillness. Visualize this. You are standing in a vast open space. The world is quiet. Your eyes are closed, but you feel them. Invisible hands all around you, lifting you, adjusting you, realigning you. You do not need to do anything. You do not need to fix it. You do not need to understand it. Just allow. With every breath, feel your soul rising. With every moment, feel the pull toward right place, right time. You are not behind. You are being readied. So when the gate opens, you will walk through it whole. Now, softly speak this affirmation, as if your soul wrote it for this very hour. Nothing is lost. Nothing is wasted. I am exactly where I belong. Again, nothing is lost. Nothing is wasted. I am exactly where I belong. Let it break the illusion. Let it silence the shame. Let it dissolve the timeline the world tried to place on you. You are not in a race. You are in a divine dance. What looks like pause is preparation. What looks like no is not yet. What looks like silence is sacred instruction. And every time you feel that old thought that you're falling behind, that it's too late, that you missed your moment. Pause, put your hand to your heart, and ask the only question that matters. Am I willing to trust divine timing over my own? Because divine timing is not just delay, it is perfection in motion. It is protection in disguise. It is the great repositioning of your life, so that nothing can block what belongs to you. Let this truth enter your bones. You are not behind. You are not being punished. You are being positioned for the next chapter, in the exact way your soul asked for before you ever arrived here. Close your eyes, breathe in stillness, and know this. The roots grow before the bloom. The soil deepens before the sprout rises. And sometimes, the deepest transformation happens where no one can see it. But the bloom is coming, and you will rise, not rushed but ready. Now we step forward, not from fear of being late, but with trust in the precision of the divine clock ticking in perfect silence, leading you still. There are moments when the world goes quiet but not in peace. Moments when the silence roars louder than clarity. When you stare into the mirror and think, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know the way forward. This is the anatomy of lostness. It is not chaos from outside. It is the fog that forms when your inner fire has dimmed. It begins subtly. The voice of fear grows louder than the voice of faith. Overthinking wraps around your intuition like a vine, and comparison starts measuring your sacred timeline against someone else's highlight reel. And suddenly you no longer hear your soul clearly. You no longer trust what rises from within. You hesitate, you spiral, you freeze. But what if this fog is not failure? What if it is a signal, a whisper that something sacred is waiting to be remembered beneath the noise? Florence Scovel Shinn wrote that the words you speak create the path you walk. She taught the law of substitution, that when a destructive thought arises, you must replace it instantly with the divine truth. So when the thought comes, I don't know what to do, you say instead, Infinite Spirit reveals it now. Because the more you affirm confusion, the more confusion appears. But the moment you declare divine revelation, the fog begins to part. You are not truly lost. You are in the process of recalibrating. You are being asked to pause, to listen, to remember who you are beneath the noise. Let's rewrite the inner dialogue now. Old pattern. I'm stuck. New power. I am being shown something deeper. Old pattern. Everyone else is ahead of me. New power. My path unfolds in perfect order. No one can walk it but me. Old pattern. I feel numb. I feel nothing. New power. I am reconnecting with my soul. My clarity returns like morning light. This is the sacred act of substitution. Replacing fear with faith, replacing delay with divine direction. And it begins with how you speak to yourself. Right now, stand before a mirror. Look into your own eyes. You are not looking at weakness. You are looking at wisdom. You are not staring at failure. You are staring at a soul awakening. Now say this out loud. Not mechanically, but from your spirit. I am not stuck. I am being shown again. I am not lost. I am being realigned with divine purpose. Say it until your body softens. Say it until the fog begins to shift. You are not broken. You are between instructions. And the next step will come, not through panic, not through pressure, but through presence. Close your eyes now. Feel the breath moving through you. Feel the stillness behind your thoughts. Let this be your prayer. Infinite Spirit, I surrender the illusion of confusion. Reveal to me the next step in perfect peace, in divine time, in sacred trust. Amen. When you live in alignment with spiritual law, you stop trying to figure life out from the outside in. You tune inward. You speak truth. You walk by inner knowing. Even when the map hasn't been drawn yet, the fog is not a punishment. It is an invitation to stop striving, to stop forcing, and to let the soul lead. Remember this always. The mental fog lifts when the inner fire is tended. So, return to your sacred flame. Speak light into your path, and let clarity find you. Not because you demanded it, but because you made space for it to arrive. Now, we step forward, into deeper alignment, into deeper vision with one truth etched in the soul. I am never lost. I am always being led. Let this truth guide you as we prepare to uncover the next divine shift. This is the turning point, not just in the script, but in your life. Up until now, we have uncovered the roots. We have walked through the fog. We have remembered the compass, buried beneath doubt. We have surrendered the illusion of being behind. We have seen the spiritual anatomy of feeling lost. And now, you are ready to step forward, not aimlessly, not blindly, but with divine design. What follows is not a routine, not a motivational checklist, This is a sacred contract. You are about to enter into a 14-day covenant with divine law, a holy invitation to realign your words, your thoughts, your energy to the frequency of your true path. Let this be clear. This challenge is not about passive hope. It is about active command. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote that you do not beg the universe. You declare. You do not wish. You speak as if it already is. Because the word is law, and the law is always listening. From this day forward, you are no longer a wanderer in your own life. You are a spiritual architect, and every word you speak, every affirmation you declare, every thought you allow becomes brick and mortar in the temple of your future. Visualize this. A calendar forms before you, not made of paper, but of pure light, each day glowing with divine potential, each square on that calendar, a portal, each sunrise a new decree, each nightfall a sacred seal. The next 14 days are not ordinary days, they are sacred ground, a container for transformation, a vessel for remembrance. Here is how it works. Every morning, you begin with a single declaration, spoken aloud with intention and presence. This is your morning key. It opens the gate for that day. It sets the tone. It orders the energy. Every evening, you close the day with a different declaration. This is your evening seal. It locks in what was planted. It anchors your soul in divine trust. It prepares you to receive while you sleep. 2 declarations each day. 1 to open. 1 to seal. Simple, but not small. Powerful beyond what the mind can measure. Your morning declaration could be, I rise in divine authority. I walk in alignment with infinite intelligence. Your evening declaration may sound like, I release all resistance. I allow the law to perfect that which concerns me. Feel the sacred rhythm build. Day by day, repetition becomes revelation. Intention becomes manifestation. Stillness becomes power. And if you miss a day, you begin again, not with guilt, not with shame, but with understanding that this is not a punishment. This is a path. This is not pressure. This is purpose. Each of the next 14 days is a stone laid upon your inner foundation. Each moment of alignment is a step into spiritual maturity. Speak this aloud now. Let the soul hear it. Let the law receive it. I am no longer a wanderer. I am a spiritual architect. I build with clarity. I move with intention. I speak with power. As you prepare to step into this challenge, understand what it truly is. It is not you trying to get somewhere. It is you remembering where you came from and who you already are. You are being summoned back into alignment, not by effort, but by design. Let the challenge begin. Your word is your wand. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote that, not as metaphor, but as divine law. Every word you speak casts a spell, a direction, a decree, a vibration that forms substance in the unseen. When you say, I am lost, the universe responds, as you wish. When you say, I am guided, it whispers back, let me show you. There is no neutral word. Each one is a brick on the road ahead. Each one builds the temple or the prison. Right now, your path may feel uncertain. But what if I told you that your words are the architect, that clarity is not something you wait for, it's something you declare into being? Close your eyes. Picture this, a figure walking through empty space. Nothing beneath their feet. But with every step and every spoken truth, a stone appears. I am guided. A brick. I trust divine timing. Another. I walk by divine direction. A road begins to form, not from logic, from language. This is the law of cause through word. Your outer life is not built by circumstances. It is built by what you consistently affirm, expect, and emotionally charge with speech. The law of assumption activates this further. What you assume to be true becomes the mold through which life flows. If you assume clarity is coming, it arrives. If you assume you are being punished, you will find evidence of punishment. So ask yourself, what have I been speaking that does not honor the truth of who I am? What detours have I built with casual language of fear, sarcasm, or doubt? Let your tongue become sacred again. Let it build bridges instead of walls. Every word matters. Every phrase becomes a prayer. Every declaration is a seed planted in divine soil. This is not wishful thinking. This is spiritual law in motion. When you speak, the invisible begins to organize. Energy aligns. People are summoned. Timing shifts. The next right step rises to meet your feet. So let's shift now. Stand or sit tall. Let your spine lengthen. Place your hand over your heart. Feel the beat of life pulsing beneath your palm. Now say, slowly and clearly, I walk by divine direction. Again, but with breath, with posture, with conviction. I walk by divine direction. Say it once more, and feel the path form beneath your words. Feel the unseen respond. This is your new practice. Each morning, each night, no matter what you see, no matter what the mind says, I walk by divine direction. It is not enough to want clarity. You must speak it. You must name it. You must become the vessel through which truth is summoned. Words of doubt are detours. Casual complaints are contracts. Self-pity is not humility. It is misdirected power. Guard your tongue like sacred fire. Refuse to curse your path with unconscious speech. Speak only what you desire to multiply. If you forget, come back. Come back to this sacred sentence. I walk by divine direction. Let it echo in your spirit until it becomes a song. Until the path beneath you begins to glow. Until the fog bows before your faith. You are not a victim of confusion. You are a builder of clarity. And it begins with the word. Let your language rise now. Let your voice command the light. Let your declarations outshine the doubt. You have always had the wand. Now, speak as if you know it, because your word is your wand. And you are building the path with every breath. Let's continue. There is a voice within you that has whispered the same story for years. It says, I don't know. I'll never figure it out. What if I make the wrong move again? It sounds like protection, but it is fear disguised as logic. It is not your soul. It is a script, a mental loop written by old wounds, trained by repetition, reinforced by the world's noise, and until you interrupt that voice, it will keep directing your life with doubt instead of truth. But here's the revelation. You are not obligated to obey that voice. You are not bound to the thoughts you didn't consciously choose. And most of all, you are not the identity you built in survival. There is another voice within you. It is still. It is sacred. It is the voice of spirit. It does not shout. It does not panic. It does not rush you. It waits for stillness, for surrender, for your willingness to choose again. Florence Scovel Shinn taught, never voice lack or limitation. Speak only the end you seek. This is not just about thinking better thoughts. This is about choosing the voice that builds, not breaks. So let's name the old scripts. When the thought comes, I don't know what to do, interrupt it with, infinite spirit, reveal the next step now. When the mind spirals into, what if it doesn't work? You say, I trust divine design. What is mine will manifest. When you feel that inner collapse rising, that tired old refrain, it's all too much. You stop it. You breathe, and you speak, I am held by divine order. I move one inspired step at a time. These are soul interrupts. They do not deny the fear. They override it. Close your eyes. Visualize the old voice. See it as a shadow, dense and familiar. Now imagine golden light pouring from above, pure and radiant. It touches the shadow, and instantly, the fear begins to dissolve. The loops begin to fade, and in their place, stillness. A new script begins to write itself. Not from panic, but from presence. This is the power of substitution in action. The sacred art of replacing fear with divine truth. You have authority over your inner world, but you must claim it daily, deliberately. So now, speak these soul interrupts out loud with me, slowly, intentionally. 1. Infinite spirit, reveal the next step now. 2. I walk with inner wisdom, not outer pressure. 3. I silence fear with faith. I speak peace into my path. Let them echo in your mind until they become your instinct. Let them break the trance of confusion. You are not the voice of fear. You are the awareness that chooses what voice to follow. You are the gatekeeper of your reality. You are the builder of inner worlds. And when you replace the old scripts with sacred ones, life responds, not because the fear disappeared, but because you stopped feeding it now. As you walk forward, let your words clear the path. Let your declarations open the gate. Let your faith be louder than your fear. You have never been without guidance, only without trust in your power to choose it. So choose it now, and watch your life shift from the inside out. There is a rhythm beneath your chaos, a pace beneath your panic, a stillness beneath your striving, and you are being invited to return to it. Not the rhythm of the world, not the rush of achievement, not the ticking of clocks that demand you hurry, but the divine rhythm. the sacred tempo of your soul. You've been taught to move fast, to act now, to fix everything, to chase what looks like it's leaving. But spiritual power is not in chasing. It is in aligning. It is in listening. It is in moving with illumined obedience, not reactive movement. Responsive alignment. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that when we align with divine mind, the path is shown step by step, not in full, not with all answers, but with enough light for one sacred step. Like walking across a field of invisible stones, you cannot see the path until you step, and as your foot rises in trust, the stone beneath it begins to glow. You walk by divine rhythm, not mental panic. You do not chase, you move when guided. Affirm this aloud. Let it echo into the patterns that once told you to rush. I do not chase. I am moved by divine rhythm. Again, with conviction. I do not chase. I am moved by divine rhythm. This is not about doing nothing. It's about doing only what is aligned. And that requires trust. Trust in your inner knowing. Trust in divine timing. Trust that what is yours will rise without being forced. Try this simple breath practice. Each morning before the world wakes, inhale slowly through your nose and say silently, I inhale trust. Exhale gently through your mouth and declare, I exhale urgency. Again, I inhale trust. I exhale urgency. Do this for 2 minutes, not as a task, but as a homecoming. You are rewiring the nervous system. You are reminding your body that panic is not divine. Your soul was never designed to sprint through life. It was made to move in sacred pace. So begin each day with this rhythm. Let your actions be born from guidance, not from fear. Let your decisions feel like a yes in your chest, not a pressure in your mind. Journal this question tonight. What does divine rhythm feel like in my body? Let the answer rise from the body, not the brain. Does it feel like ease? Does it feel like presence? Does it feel like unforced movement? Trust what you hear, even if it's quiet, especially if it's quiet, because the divine does not shout, it whispers. And that whisper will never tell you to run in fear. It will only ask you to rise in faith. So walk slowly today. Walk with attention. Walk with peace in your bones. Let this be the rhythm you return to, not the rhythm of the world, but the rhythm of the divine. And from here, you'll know when to move, when to pause, when to speak, when to act, because your steps are not random. They are orchestrated, each one a note in a divine melody, each pause a rest in the score of your becoming. You are not behind. You are not rushed. You are not forgotten. You are walking the sacred path, one illumined step at a time. Let this truth settle in. Let it guide you into the next phase of your unfolding. The rush is not required. Only rhythm, only trust, only alignment, and so it is. There is a clock without numbers, a rhythm without rush, a calendar written in light. You may not see it, but it sees you, and it is never late. Divine timing is not a mystery. It is a law, just as real as gravity, just as precise as mathematics, but it moves with spirit, not schedules. When you live in fear, delays feel like punishment. When you live in alignment, delays feel like preparation. You have not been forgotten. You have been preserved. Florence Scovel Shinn said, what is yours by right will reach you on time. Not a moment early, not a second too late, but at the precise instant when your vibration and your vision match. We think of time as a thief, but divine time is a healer, a revealer, a gatekeeper of sacred readiness. That thing you prayed for, the door you begged to open, the path you longed to see. They were not withheld. They were being woven. You see delay. Heaven sees design. Imagine this, a clock suspended in eternity, its hands invisible, yet moving with perfect certainty. Each tick a decision, each tuck a realignment. That this is divine order. It is not random. It is surgical. It removes what would sabotage your peace. It reshapes what would collapse under pressure. It holds back what you are not yet strong enough to carry, not to punish, but to prepare. Because when what is truly yours comes, you will not chase it. You will recognize it. You will rise to meet it without fear. This is the law of divine timing. It does not reward force. It responds to faith. So let go of the lie that you are behind. You cannot miss what is assigned to your spirit. You cannot lose what is encoded into your soul's design. Instead of asking, when will it happen? Ask, what is being aligned in me right now? Instead of fearing the delay, Anchor into divine sequence. Try this evening ritual. 2 minutes of sacred remembering before sleep. Stand or sit in stillness, hand over heart. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Inhale peace, exhale pressure. Now, whisper, I release the illusion of delay. I accept the timing of divine mind. I trust the divine sequence of my life. Again, softly, slowly, like your soul is listening. I release the illusion of delay. I accept the timing of divine mind. I trust the divine sequence of my life. Let those words settle in your body. Let them untie the knots of urgency. Let them dismantle the timelines you've placed on your worth. Because divine timing is not passive. It is intelligent. It is active. It is working while you rest, rearranging while you sleep, orchestrating in ways you cannot yet see. And when the moment arrives, it will feel like remembering, like a soft click of alignment, like the hands of the unseen clock have pointed directly to your soul. You will not need to force it. It will unfold because divine law does not fail. So today, walk not with anxiety, but with assurance that something larger than time is working through time on your behalf. Your only job is to remain open, to stay faithful, to move when guided, and to rest when stillness is asked of you. Let this truth be your anchor now. You are not waiting for life to begin. You are already inside the timing of your becoming, and just beyond the edge of what you can see, the gates are turning. The hour is forming. The blessing is aligning. Trust the divine sequence of your life. It has never failed you, and it never will. Every morning, before the world speaks to you, you must speak to it. Before the noise of fear enters, before the weight of doubt arrives, you command the atmosphere, not by begging, not by hoping, but by declaring. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, your word is your wand, and with it, you carve the contours of your day. You do not wait for the world to tell you who you are. You speak it first. You speak it with fire. You speak it with authority. Because words are not empty sounds. They are spiritual instruments. Every sentence carries vibration. Every phrase carries permission. Your word doesn't just describe. It builds, it activates, it awakens. The subconscious mind listens closely. It does not judge. It does not filter. It obeys. Whatever you say with feeling, it accepts as truth. So say this with power, not as a whisper, as a command. I do not beg, I declare. Again, with posture, with breath, with your chest lifted and soul engaged. I do not beg, I declare. Because what you say now, you walk into next. Speak this aloud every morning. Let it become the vibration you carry into the world. Morning declaration, I awaken with purpose. I walk with divine direction. Every cell in my body is aligned with prosperity. I am guided, grounded, and gloriously provided for. No weapon formed against me can prosper. I do not chase. I attract by truth. I command my day in harmony with divine law. Say it again. Until your energy matches your intention. Stand tall, shoulders back, heart open. You are not a servant to circumstances. You are a sculptor of reality. You do not wake up to react. You wake up to reign. Then each time you declare, the unseen world listens. The divine orchestra adjusts. The vibration around you shifts. Because spiritual law moves for the one who speaks from alignment. So today, tomorrow, and every day forward, let your words walk ahead of you. Let them prepare the path. Let them unlock the doors. Let them instruct the energy around you, not with fear, with faith, not with begging, with boldness. I do not beg, I declare. And so it is. There comes a moment, not loud, not dramatic, but holy. That the moment clarity returns, not like lightning, but like sunlight slowly piercing the fog, soft, certain, undeniable. You may not notice it at first, because clarity rarely arrives as answers. It arrives as peace. The breath slows, the shoulders drop, the mind unclenches, and in that quiet, you remember, not discover. Remember. You remember what your soul has always known, that you were never lost, that the compass never broke, that deep beneath the noise, the next step was always glowing. Florence Scovel Shinn said, the subconscious is the soul, and it never forgets. It remembers your path. It remembers your truth. It remembers your next step. So now, you listen. Not to the outer noise, but to the still, sacred current within. This is your invitation to silence. To step into 5 minutes of inward listening. Set everything down. Close your eyes. Place one hand on your heart. And breathe. Let the thoughts pass like clouds. Let the panic dissolve like mist, and listen. Beneath the noise, beneath the fear, there is a voice, not yelling, not rushing, just guiding, and it will speak. Maybe not in words, maybe in a feeling, a subtle pull, a sacred yes, a sudden knowing. This is clarity, not as logic, but as light. The moment you stop searching for it is the moment you begin to feel it again. Declare this with reverence. My soul already knows the way. I now listen. Again, my soul already knows the way. I now listen. Let it become your new default, your new posture, your quiet power. You are no longer scrambling for signs. You are anchored in stillness. Because when the fog parts and the light returns, you will not run ahead and panic. You will walk in peace. Let that be your promise now. To no longer chase the map, but to trust the light that glows within. And when you're ready, we'll step into the final truth together. The truth that changes everything. This is the moment it all begins to settle. Not as noise, not as question, but as truth. You were never truly lost. You were becoming. All the fog, all the silence, all the sacred pauses, they were not delays. They were activations, initiations, sacred ground where your former self was laid to rest, and your true voice rose to speak. You did not find the path, you became the path. It was never outside of you, never in the hands of fate. It was in the way you showed up every day of this journey. In the way you spoke when your voice was shaking, in the way you surrendered the old scripts and chose to write new ones. You became the living law, a walking embodiment of divine rhythm. You no longer ask for signs, you are the sign. No more seeking approval, no more begging for clarity. You are the oracle now. Say it aloud. I am not the seeker. I am the voice that leads. Again, I am not the seeker. I am the voice that leads. Let those words anchor into your bones. Because this is no longer about temporary rituals. This is not just a 14-day challenge. This is a rebirth, a recoding of how you move, how you speak, how you are. You are the spiritual architect. You are the vibrational leader of your life. And now, you walk in rhythm with divine mind. You don't run in panic. You don't beg for permission. You stand in sovereignty. You command with clarity. You speak, and the law responds. This is your divine inheritance. This is what was always waiting behind the fog. Not just peace, power, not just direction, identity. And now, you carry it forward, not just for 2 weeks, but as a lifestyle, a devotion, a sacred rhythm that never stops humming within you. You have stepped out of the cycle of confusion. You have returned to the knowing, and this knowing sounds like a command. Declare it now. Stand tall, breathe deep, speak with soul. I am not lost. I am led. I do not wander. I command. The law moves with me, and my way is made clear. Again, with reverence, I am not lost. I am led. I do not wander. I command. The law moves with me, and my way is made clear. Let it seal into your cells. Let it become the new gravity you walk with. Because the journey was never to find something outside. It was to remember what was always within. You were never lost. You were becoming. And now, you have become. And now, the path unfolds beneath your feet. One step, one word, one sacred breath at a time. Welcome home.